Hi guys, it's me, Javier, and in today's lesson we will be talking about the simple past tense. The simple past tense is an structure that you are already used to it because we in general use it almost all the time to express a past habit, a past action, to talk about something that has already finished. So it won't be easy for you to understand this video, this lesson. Before talking about its function and its structure, I would like to say that I don't know if you already noticed, but I'm not feeling well. I got the flu some days ago. I've been taking my pills, but it just doesn't work. It just gets worse and worse. My throat hurts a little, so I can barely talk. That is why you might listen to me differently. I'll be talking slowly and lowly also, but I really hope you can understand everything. First of all, because as I said, you are already used to the simple past tense, and secondly, um, it is easier. It is easier than the simple present, for example, or the present progressive. So let's start. First, talking about its function. As I said, we use the simple past tense when an action is completed in the past. When an action is already finished. For example, I played soccer yesterday. I played soccer some days ago. I played soccer last year. It could be. You know that it is completed because of two things. First of all, the verb, and secondly, um, the adverb. In this case, yesterday. The adverb of time. Yesterday, last year, when we used also ago. I played soccer a day ago. Then we use the simple past tense when there is a sequence of events in the past, obviously. Um, for example, yesterday, or some days ago, or Sunday, Saturday, I got up early, then brushed my teeth, and finally made my breakfast and cleaned my house. As you can see, there is a sequence of some events that I made that day. And finally, when a situation has a specific duration in the past, again, or when it was a habit, to describe a habit that you you had in the past. For example, I lived in Mexico for 3 months. I lived in Mexico in 2003. Or a habit of mine, for example, I played chess for almost 10 years. That is actually, as I said, a habit of mine. I used to love playing chess. Um, it doesn't mean that I don't know how to play it anymore, but unfortunately I stopped playing that game. But um, I know that I am good at it, and I am really better than you. Uh, I'm really sure. Then the structure. And first of all, the structure in negative sentences. We are going to start with the negative because it is easier than the affirmative structure of the simple past tense. Because we want to write, when we want to say a sentence in negative in the past, um, we have only to use the auxiliary didn't. Um, as always, we use the subject first, then, as I said, the auxiliary didn't, and finally the base form of the verb. Obviously, if you want, you can add the complement. Didn't is the past form of the verb do, and we use this auxiliary for all the subjects. It doesn't change if we use the third person singular, the third person plural, or second person. It doesn't matter. For example, I didn't buy shoes today. She didn't write that letter. We didn't go to the match. He didn't go to the bathroom yet. You didn't read the book. And they didn't wear jeans. But there is kind of an exception, as always, that would be the verb to be. Because the past tense of be is wasn't and weren't. You cannot say, I didn't be a teacher. He didn't be a professional player. You instead have to say, I wasn't at school yesterday. Wasn't in this case is the auxiliary, is the past tense of the verb to be. You weren't at home today. Now, let's see the affirmative, that it's kind of divided in two parts because we will see the regular verbs and the irregular ones. Um, to talk about the affirmative sentences and the simple past tense, as always, first you have to follow the rule that it is subject plus the verb in the past, and if you want, a complement. For some verbs, in this case for the regular verbs, which are easier than the irregular ones, you have to follow some rules also. For example, for those verbs which end in, or for those most regular verbs, you just have to add ed at the end. For example, from watch to watched, from listen to listened, from hurt to hurt. Um, as you can listen to me, as you can hear, the pronunciation changes. It has to change because we need to notice that we are pronouncing the verb in the past. Ed, d, watch, watched, watched. Then for the verbs which end in an e, we only have to add the d. Dance, danced. Change, changed. Believe, believed. And for the regular verbs that end in y, um, you have to change the y for an I and then add the ed. For example, study, studied. Try, tried. Um, this rule doesn't apply for all the verbs because, for example, we have the verb play and we only add the ed. We doesn't change. We don't change the y for an I. It would be played. And finally, some regular verbs double the last consonant, like stop and shop. Stop, stopped. Shop, shopped. And finally, the irregular verbs. I would say that there is no rule to know which verbs are irregular. You just have to learn them. Unfortunately, you just have to learn them by heart. And there is a whole list of irregular verbs. Obviously, these ones are not all of them. I just wrote some of them. So you will have to seek for the list of the entire irregular verbs, and as I said, you'll just have to learn them. Here I wrote, for example, some of the verbs that doesn't change. That is why they are called irregular, because bet it is equal to bet, and the pronunciation is the same. You just have to know by the context when a sentence is written in the past. Coast, coast, cut, cut, let. Um, Also, there are some verbs that change completely. That is really impressive. For example, teach. It is not teached. It is taught. Tell, told. Make, made. Buy, bought. And this is my favorite verb, I would say. Stand, stood. Find, found. Break, broke. Awesome. Um, and well, to practice a little, I wrote some sentences and I will read them. And I hope this helps you to understand it better. Here I used the irregular verbs, and that would be, for example, I took a nap in the afternoon. My mom made breakfast. The tree grew too much. I forgot my keys. You know, I often forgot my keys or my wallet. So that is why I wrote this sentence. I forgot my keys. I forgot my wallet. He told me to drink a lot of water. Actually, you have to drink a lot of water because it is healthier. I ate more than 4 hamburgers yesterday. I got up early and went to the university. Here you can see two irregular verbs, um, which are the verbs get and go. I got up early and went to the university. My mother sang a beautiful song. I found a jacket in the garden. He sold his t-shirt. He let the dog out as the song. So that would be everything. I hope you really understand this lesson and see you in the next time.